stupid bitch! Hey, what did I say about that word? Come on!
Last year, Telltale's The Walking Dead game took the video game world by storm. It showed the world that storytelling and great voice acting can go a long way when it comes to video games. This time, Telltale Games brings us The Wolf Among Us, which is their brand new series based upon the beloved comic book series Fables. In this game, you play as the big bad wolf, cleverly named Bigby Wolf. Now, Bigby Wolf is the sheriff of Fabletown. Fabletown is a place where fairy tales, or fables the way they call them, were sent to after they were banished from their fairy tale homelands. Here they are forced to live among humans and live a human lifestyle. The way that this is done is that each fairy tale must take something called glamour, which helps them stay and look human. Now, I myself have actually never read the Fables comic book series, but I have heard a lot of good buzz about the series. From what I've been told, the comic book series is a darker and grittier, more realistic look at comic book creatures in a humanizing world. And right off the bat, you can tell that that is exactly what this series is going to be. From the cursing, the smoking, the hints of prostitution, you can tell that this is not your parents' fairy tale. This is a fairy tale story that you don't want to tell your little ones. What makes the story that The Wolf Among Us, and I'm sure that the Fable series in general, really compelling is that these creatures or fairy tales were not thrown into a glamorous lifestyle in the human world. They were thrown into a place where a lot of them live in poverty. A lot of them have to do things that they don't want to do to survive. I mean, there's prostitution, there's gambling, there's all of this really, really bad stuff happening in this world because of the fact that these fables were thrown into the human world with no idea of what to do. They just know that they had to stay human or they would get sent away to a place called the farm. Now, the core story of this first episode is that Bigby Wolf is in charge of securing everyone's safety in Fabletown. But right off the bat, the game takes a tremendous turn when a fable has been murdered and Bigby Wolf has to figure out who did it and why. Like Telltale's previous game, this game will have a lot to do with choices and consequences and pretty much learning to live with the consequences and choices that you make throughout the game. The choices that you make in the first episode will carry over into the second and the third and the fourth because, again, like their previous game, this game is going to be an episodic game. Now, the game has a really unique look and I absolutely love the art style that Telltale uses for their game. They make the games look as if though they were ripped right out of the comic books themselves. The way that the dark tones and the coloring work off one another, it just works so well and it helps the player get immersed into that game, and I absolutely love the experience that they throw at us. That being said, the game on occasion was a bit too dark for me and it kind of made the screen look a little bit too muddy and it was hard for me to tell what I was actually looking at. But that didn't happen too often and it never really took me out of the experience the way I thought it might have. What makes Telltale games so far stand out from all of the rest is that they always have amazing writing and amazing voice acting to go along with that dialogue. We get such a wide variety of characters in this game and each character introduces their own voice tone for the character. Each character speaks differently, has a different manner of the way that they handle themselves, and it really does feel as if though they were on a very different part of their fairy tale world. Telltale also brings back their combat system that usually relies a lot on quick time events. Only that this time, the quick time events are still there, but they have introduced a brand new system where you see yourself trying to line up your analog stick with a red dot that appears on the screen, while also trying to hit a button that pops on the screen, usually related to the LT or RT buttons on your controller. Now, this may seem like a pretty frustrating mechanic, but to me, I actually found it very, very useful and brought a lot of tension to the game, because if I missed it, then who knew what was going to happen, and I would have been really pissed if I messed up and didn't actually do what I wanted to do and the story took me in a different way. Now, all of that being said, I do want to say that on my playthrough, the game seemed to lag a bit, and I wasn't sure if that was because of my system or anything, but it kind of felt like I was online and playing a really, really bad online match at times. And I really do hope that they patch that for the next couple episodes, because I was really immersed in this game. And for it to lag like that really did frustrate me a little bit. But I particularly love The Wolf Among Us. I think it's a phenomenal game, and I actually believe that it's an overall improvement over their previous game, The Walking Dead, which got a lot of critical praise. I just absolutely loved everything that they were telling here. I found the story to be intriguing, suspenseful, and it really, really did immerse me into their game. I would definitely recommend this game to anybody that wants to play a different solid game that really does heavily rely on storytelling. As I finished my hour-and-a-half playthrough of the first episode, I was left feeling if I made the right choices, if I arrested the right people, if I went after the wrong guy the whole time. And those are choices that I absolutely loved feeling. but they will definitely make me go back and try to play the game again and see if my choices will be different and how it would affect the story. I find this game to be phenomenal, and I definitely think everybody should check it out because this game is worth a full price. Alright guys, thanks for watching my The Wolf Among Us review. Hopefully you guys like my review and you guys can comment below. And if you guys want to see a more in-depth review, definitely go check out the website Geeked Out Nation. I have a review up there of the game which kind of goes into a little bit more detail and kind of talks about the pros and cons that I actually didn't really love about the game. But you guys should definitely go over there and check it out. And also guys, comment below, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I'll talk to you guys later.